So this is a video, I'll include the link in the description. It's only a minute 50 seconds long, and it's a compilation of 3 small segments made by an artist known as Poppy before the C19 hit, proving that it was premeditated. I'll just tell you what she says in these in order to avoid copyright, and you can click the link in the description and watch for yourself. You can see that this one's dated June 30th, 2016. Here I'll just show you images, screenshots I took by punching some search terms in. You can see I put Poppy mask. This one says how to apply your mask 7 years ago. This one says the game is over 6 years ago. This one says what rhymes with breath 8 years ago. She says, what if I told you that there is a secret? The future is very, very strange to me, and then laughs in a weird way and stares ominously and awkwardly into the camera. So many exciting things are happening. Have they told you? Do you know what's happening? I don't know if they're going to let me tell you. What rhymes with breath? That's all I'm going to say right now. Bye. And this is how to apply your mask. Place the elastic bands around your ears like so. Pinch just above the nose for a snug fit. And now you're ready to go show off your new mask. You look great. I won't remove the mask. I'm not afraid to remove this mask. I'll do it, just watch. 3, 2, 1. The mask is off. The game is over. The game is no longer over, she said after she put it back on. This is from a channel called Please Breathe, and this is their only video they've ever uploaded 4 years ago. In my opinion, this is proof beyond a reasonable doubt that the whole thing was premeditated, and whoever gave her this script knew what was coming. They even knew the psychology of people that wouldn't want to take off the mask. In that last skit where she says, I won't remove the mask. I'm not afraid to remove the mask. I'll remove it, you just watch. 3, 2, 1, takes it off. The game is over. And then she puts it back on and says the game is no longer over. There were Karens demanding the reinstatement of the mask mandates who refused to take it off after the mandates were gone. Going to their city hall meetings, demanding that they reinstate the mandates. We're seeing people wearing them again. The game is no longer over. And when she said, what rhymes with breath? The answer is death. And so this is probably sufficient enough to hold up in a civil court where the threshold of a guilty verdict is a confluence of evidence. In a criminal case, it has to be beyond a reasonable doubt. And I think this even goes beyond reasonable doubt. The only reasonable doubt someone could have, really, logically and rationally, is to say these videos weren't really uploaded before C19 happened. They've been uploaded since then and backdated with a previous date. And this was all actually uploaded after the C19. That's the kind of a mental process someone would use as a coping mechanism to provide them some sort of reasonable doubt. Because if these were indeed uploaded before C19, it is proof that it was premeditated. And whoever produced this, she's just reading her lines, playing out the act of... I don't think she's necessarily in on it. You see, this video, no one could appreciate the magnitude and what the implications are of this video until after the catalyst of the whole C19 thing went down. Then you can look back and see her videos that she made before it all happened and recognize what it was she was presenting. Prior to that, even her biggest fans that say, oh, I love Poppy and everything she does, I'm the biggest fan of all of her work, even they could not possibly appreciate the magnitude and the impact of what it was she was presenting until after the catalyst of the C19 shit went down. Only then, and even Poppy herself probably didn't recognize what it was she was presenting and the magnitude and the impact. She didn't even appreciate the work that she was doing and what it was that she produced until after the C19 all went down. Then she can look back and see, oh wow, that's what I did. That's what I was part of. That's the presentation I was making. This was made in order to be viewed in hindsight. When she put these out, at the time she put these out, they fell flat. People might have thought, oh, that's weird, that's quirky, that's artistic and creative. So weird and artistic and creative, you can't really make sense of it. And it doesn't really have an impact. These videos were made for people to look at in hindsight in the future after the C19 operation went down. This proves it was all premeditated and scripted. I'll include a link in the description to the video I made recently titled Illuminati Job Application. It's some ideas that I've gone over before. Some of it may seem familiar, and just kind of reminding you of the things that you already know, like, oh yeah, all of my family and friends did turn into ravenous witch hunters, huh? And I was the witch. And they did build concentration camps for us, huh? And then their witch hunt kind of backfired on them, and it's kind of like they're the ones ended up in that camp. Kind of like Madonna in her video she put out at the Eurovision Song Contest with her and Quavo singing Future. And she said, there's a storm coming. The storm isn't in the air, it's inside of us. And she depicted the masks and the plasma fire. And this was all just a few months before C19 came on the scene. She too was foretelling what was to come. But this short 1-minute 50-second video by Poppy proves beyond a reasonable doubt, in my opinion. The word reasonable doubt is a subjective term and anyone can define it in whatever way they want. But from my perspective, these 3 videos, this compilation of these 3 short video pieces she put out that did not make any sense at the time when she put them out, is proof that the whole mask thing was orchestrated and coordinated and premeditated. And you can look at things like, Event 201. But your normie friends and family aren't going to look at Event 201 and say, well, yeah, just because they practiced for something beforehand, that doesn't mean it was a dry run and they followed through with the real thing afterwards. I don't know if there's any person that can look at this presentation by Poppy and not see that she was on the inside, or the people who were giving her script and her lines and producing this presentation were on the inside and knew what was coming. And yes, Poppy is absolutely an Illuminati insider. That's her doing the Baphomet in her music video Low Life with the 2 fingers pointed up on one side and the 2 fingers pointed down on the other side. Just like Tom Hanks here in this screenshot from the movie Forrest Gump, where he's got the 2 fingers on one side pointed up, 2 fingers on the other side pointed down. That's the Baphomet pose. And I think Tom Hanks was the first celebrity to ever get the C19. And I think he was typing on his Corona typewriter. So maybe watch that video that I titled Illuminati Job Application. And it might help you to consider whether or not these people that are on the inside doing these inside jobs are doing the work of the devil or God. And see that it's not all so clear in black and white. But first, watch the 1-minute 50-second video of that compilation of clips from Poppy and really let it sink in. Because that hits harder than just about anything else you've ever seen as confirmation of what you already know. That it was all coordinated and orchestrated and pre-planned and premeditated and theatrical. Yet it was a process of self-selection. No one's free will was violated. No one was held down and had it plunged in their arm. They joined a fashion trend. It was a popularity thing. They caved to peer pressure and that of authorities, yet never was their free will violated. It was a process of self-selection, a filtration on the consciousness farm.